Welcome to Fireside Chats. I'm Polk County Public Safety Information Officer Layth Mekkaoui, and today I'm joined by Polk County Fire Rescue Chief Shawn Smith. Chief, it's a pleasure to have you on today.
Hey, thanks, Layth, man. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the set, too, man. This is fantastic. You guys did a really good job on that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome work that they did in the studio today.
Yeah, for sure.
For our brand new show, Fireside Chats, we're glad to have you here with us. And so we're bringing on Chief Smith, none other, to join us for our first episode. And it's actually a big deal, Chief. We're actually coming up just past a year of your tenure officially in the role as Chief.
Yeah.
I want to hear about some of the changes that you've made at Polk County Fire Rescue so far.
Oh, well, some of them you could probably see them, some of the gray hairs right there. But no, a lot of things have changed in Polk County Fire Rescue. I mean, we have a strong foundation. We needed to make some changes either at the station level, at the command staff level, and just in how we're perceived in the public. So some of the changes that we made at Polk County Fire Rescue is really, it's kind of an inverted pyramid is kind of how I like to talk about it is, it's really our service model or how we deliver our services. Really, the inverted pyramid is a real big deal today. I serve the community. I serve the assistant chiefs and I serve the deputy chiefs. The deputy chiefs serve the battalion chiefs, and then the bat chiefs actually serve our members. That's how it's supposed to be. Our members out there that are running the calls, that are on our resources and our trucks out there every day, those are who we work for. And we all, cumulatively, we all work for the residents and the visitors of this great county. But really, it's a servant-minded philosophy, which means the highest served to the lowest, and I don't mean that as a derogatory, but that's how it should be. They're the ones that are cared, they are the backbone of this organization, and we want to make sure that they're cared for, they're valued, and that we serve them. That's a big philosophy change.
Yeah, and that's awesome because, I mean, it's the rank and file that really make the organization function.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, we talked a little bit about some of the changes that have already been made. Now, let's talk, there's a lot of stuff in the works in PCFR.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the stuff we can expect in the future.
Oh, man, future's really bright. I don't have my shades with me right now, but it is bright. So, obviously, one of the biggest projects that we have, or the biggest changes we're going to see, is how we train and how we bring in new people into our organization. Our new training center is going to be open here within the next 30 days. We're right on the last couple of weeks of just finishing up some stuff on that. So when we get that training center, our delivery model on how we train our members is gonna go from rags to riches, I guess you could say. It's gonna be fantastic. So the delivery model that we serve our crews is going to drastically improve, from the state-of-the-art training facility to our own classrooms, and then that also piggybacks off of how we're hiring. You know, some of the other changes that we are is we're filling vacancies, we're hiring. We've hired 205 people in the last 15 months, which is a tremendous lift, and we wouldn't really been able to do that without, you know, HR, without communications too. You know, we run your numbers on demographics, who we're talking to, who we're touching, who we're trying to recruit. So it's a big effort by everybody involved in that. But really the biggest changes are going to be our training center, something that we have a lot of pride in and something that we can showcase and really puts us on the map in Central Florida and or in the state. I mean, our burn building is really referred to on the whole East Coast of the United States as the Beast of the East. It's one of the biggest training centers, burn buildings on the East Coast. So we're really proud of that. Bigger isn't always better, and I understand that, but how we're going to use it's going to really prove and put us on the map. And then we're also going to bring in, we're changing some things. We're bringing in uncertified members, and what I mean by uncertified members are EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, firefighter EMTs, firefighter medics. We're bringing in uncertified members, and we're teaching them from the ground up. And those are some of our seed programs that are our hometown hero programs. We're dropping seeds throughout this county. We're harvesting all the talent in Polk County, and we're bringing them in and we're teaching them a profession and giving them a career.
Yeah, I mean, of course. And I guess we should touch on the EMT class, right?
Yeah.
Out of that. That's a great way to just segue into that.
Yeah, so Polk County Fire Rescue, we're recognized by the state to go ahead and teach our first EMT class, in-house EMT class. And part of that was from our seed programs, our Hometown Heroes programs, where we brought in individuals and we taught them EMT, and we brought in some of our PDRTP members and taught them EMT. So that class actually just graduated on Friday. The first ever class, and we're not even in our training center. We wanted to go ahead and run that class before our training center opened so we could work out the kinks and the bugs on that. So when we get into that training center, it's full steam ahead. So go back a little bit. They graduated on Friday, 16 members. They all passed 100%, and now they're all taking their national. And right now we have like a 98% pass rate right now. We have one more person pending. That's why we're not at 100%. So he's taking his national, probably taking his national today, which the day we film this. So more to come on that. We're actually having the graduation later this afternoon, an official graduation where they can celebrate with their peers and their families. So really a good job. I couldn't ask for any. So proud of the organization, so proud of the EMS training division, so proud of Kelly Rucker and everybody that's been involved in all that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I've seen it all. It's great work from you guys. And so touching on that, I mean, growing people in-house, that's a huge recruitment effort.
Yeah.
One of our biggest drives right now, recruitment.
Yes. Yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit more about that, just the specifics, getting all these people in the doors and working for PCFR?
Yeah, so some of the changes also on your first question, things that we're going to change. Things we're going to change are, the culture and how we serve people. The staffing is drastically improving, and we're going to a different schedule. We're going to a Kelly Day schedule, which means we'll have about 36 people off per shift, allowing them to have that work-life balance, and then we're up staffing. Then we have people in the hopper per se to fill those vacancies. So in order to do that, we had to bring on an absorbent amount of people, an absorbent amount of new members. And how to do that, we could do it the traditional way of that we hire people that are already certified. They have that. It's a competitive market right now for public safety, especially in the fire service and especially the individuals that do have a paramedic patch. So a way to do that is we went in an intuitive route and just said, well, hey, why don't we harvest people that don't have those, that maybe have one certification and not the other, or those that are applying at some of the vocation centers like a Ridge or a South Florida that just got done with their standards or are going into standards. And so we go there and we ask them, hey, would you like to work for Polk County Fire Rescue? Overwhelmingly, the majority of them really would like to be a part of a bigger organization like this. So we say, well, hey, why don't we bring you on? We'll pay you to go to Ridge, and then we'll bring you in, and then we'll teach you EMT class. And then also the flip side of that, one of our programs is the Rescue Ready, which is an adult cadet program, which really we kind of interject our culture and what the profession has to offer them to see if it's a fit for them. And we normally offer that on Tuesday evenings because people work, and then Saturdays we'll offer that, and we let them do that. We teach them EMR, which is an emergency medical responder. So even if they go into this class, they're like, hey, we love the fire service. What a noble profession. We really enjoy it. I don't know if I could do this for 25, 30 years, but they still get their EMR certification, and they're nationally certified to be an emergency medical responder for whatever they have. It was no cost to us, and it was no cost to them besides their time. But the majority of them do end up coming on into the organization, and we teach from EMR, they go into EMT or fire standards, and then they get vice versa, they go into EMT and fire standards, and then within about 6 to 7 months, they're filling a vacancy in our ranks.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, that I've just seen the recruitment drive that we've all been a part of, and it's amazing to see people getting in the doors. And so, on top of that, we're not stopping. I want you to explain why the fire service is such a good career to get into. I mean, you've been here so long. You started here, what year?
Yeah, 2003.
I mean, you've been here, more than 20 years.
Correct, yes, sir.
Tell me why. What is it that made you stay? Why should people want to get into the service?
Man, the fire service is like I mentioned a little while ago, it's a noble profession. It's not a profession for everybody, we'll be honest with that. It's a demanding profession, but what a rewarding profession. I mean, there is so much that we do that we get to communicate. You get to communicate every day. Every day is a different day. You never know what you're going to get that day. But then the opportunity to serve others and to serve the county and just the opportunity to help people when they're in need. That is a calling. Not everybody does that. Not every profession has the opportunity to do what we do. The things that firefighters, EMTs, paramedics do, mathematically less than 10% of the world's population see and do what we get to do. So it's an honor to do what we do, and we teach you the skills and refine those skill sets to make sure that you're proficient at it. If you really wanted to put like a quotable word on there. It's just the opportunity to help. I mean, it's such a great feeling, especially a young child that might be hurt or having a medical emergency, and you're seeing them in distress, but then when you're leaving that 15 to 20 minutes that you're with them and you're leaving and you stabilize the incident, the smile on their face and the gratitude that the family has for you and the awe of people that watched you work is something that you really take, that hits home. It really makes you feel special about who you are and what you can do.
Yeah, that's an awesome feeling, I'm sure. And so, I guess out of that, what's your personal, your fondest moment in this organization? Do you have one off the top of your head? Mean,
there's moments, obviously you could resort back to incidents that you had. There's good and bad. There's incidents you don't ever want to think about that you kind of bury, unfortunately, and then there's ones that you really like. But really, some of the fondest memories are the daily running the calls and the station life, the brothers and sisters that you see running calls and having that competitive camaraderie with the stations that's next to you. If you're going to a big call and you beat them there and it's their zone, the camaraderie at the station, the breaking bread together, the working out together, the meeting and being a part of their family as they're a part of your family. That's some of the fondest memories. It is the for me, it is the camaraderie. You could go into the incidents. You love the calls where you're going in there, you're coming up on a scene and fire's blowing through the roof and you're kicking open the door and you're doing a primary search and fire's everywhere and you open the nozzle and that fire darkens down because you're in control and you know how to handle that. Man, those are great and those are awesome and those are macho bravado things that I'll never get away. Or those medical calls where young pediatrics or family members are sitting there in the tripod position with their nasal flarings and they can't breathe, they have asthma. You're able to administer some medication on them and take that anxiety away. Those are all fond memories, and there's way too many of those to actually even talk about. And then to be transparent, there's calls that you don't really like to think about anymore, but you were there for a reason, and did you do the best you can? You think so, and sometimes you just don't. You're not in control of those.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So we talked a little bit about some of the things that maybe the public doesn't know. We talked a lot about the fire service, but some of the things that people don't know. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you think you would want the public, Polk County, and really anyone to know about Polk County Fire Rescue?
And Polk County Fire Rescue, it's a fun organization to work at. It's surrounded by a lot of great people. I mean, a lot of great people. And a lot of them live right here, are your neighbors, are within your communities. You see them at Publix, you see them at Walmart, you see them anywhere. You might even see them in the bank. Any of those. They're just average people like you, but man, just a great bunch of individuals, men and women. We're a big organization. We are big. We're 46 stations, going to be 47 stations. We're spread out throughout this whole county. We're there to serve you, we're there to serve others, and we're there to serve each other. And I say we're big, but we still keep that hometown family feel on it, really. You know what I mean? And it's a fun place to work. If you like the fancy equipment, the trucks that we have, if you like that, actually to have a profession that makes a difference in the world, man, Polk County Fire Rescue is the place for you. And we would encourage anybody that thinks that this is something that they would like to do, if it's something they'd like to dip their toe in to see if it's something that they can do. If you've had a calling to serve in the military, serve as sheriffs, serve your community, Polk County Fire Rescue can give you that opportunity to test your talents and your abilities and to see if you have the aptitude to go ahead and do that. And we'd love and welcome you to go ahead and reach out, and we'll make contact. We'll give you some basic pointers. We'll let you touch and play with some of our equipment and see if it really works for you.
All right, well, you heard him. If you're looking to get into the fire service, you can apply. You can look up polkfl.gov for more information. Thank you for joining us on the first episode of Fireside Chats, and thank you, Chief, for being here with us today.
No, thank you, Layth. Appreciate everything.